We're just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cleveland Browns. Set to go now on a white and snowy December afternoon. And off we go from Cleveland. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out 2-25.
Let's go now.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30. We're talking about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that leg down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Tua sets up to pass it. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
Part of why they came to this one with a big run is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown over their big defensive play. Now, on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. In motion comes the tight end left. After the interception, here's Watson. This is caught. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Anthony Schwartz with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Now Cade York for the extra point. Boy, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good.
So what happened to my deep zone?
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, or they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, He's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the first quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this streak, the pass rushers, because most of the time, they're the ones that affect things in the pocket for a quarterback trying to throw the football, rushing them, getting them off their spot, harassing them, and that allows the defensive backs, the linebackers to swoop in and make the picks downfield.
And they're swooping. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Back to Walker on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On second down, it's Walker. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Down at the 25.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second down and 7. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. This is the tight end Fant. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football, and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The Browns at 11-4 now on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
He's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. The keeper gets him 7 that time, and it'll lead to a 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
After the run, Watson going to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there. Wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
They're going for it with the option right. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
Now Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. 41 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns.
We've seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dumped out a wicked stiff arm.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
With the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same. But the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down at 17. On play action, here's Tua. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the third time. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. This is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even declared the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And he's got his man on the out route. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. They go with Chubb on second down. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Side caught by the tight end Njoku. Touchdown. David Njoku from a yard out. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two. Ready. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. On third down, here's Walker. And he will have the first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Walker now at 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, You could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 33. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Play action. Now it's Tua. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
How about the coverage for this breakout on 3rd down? Dime defense. Blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. Unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. 2nd down. Here's Chubb again. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play. And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. Coming up here, looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Watson on 3rd down. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think in clement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often slip.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, You do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Watson looks to throw again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Browns. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Browns take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Ready. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game.
He's got a man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf. 75 yards. And the Seahawks are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field. And we are ready to rock. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. To throw is Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Tua now on first down. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's Tua. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Greedy Williams picks it off. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
On 1st down, Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Watson. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
And the end result of that play, you're almost not sure what you really want, because when he gets outside of the pocket, you actually hold your breath because you think he's going to run for big yardage. But when he chose to pull it down and throw it, and a play was made to knock it away, that's a pretty good end result. Not one you expected when the play began.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
and they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 35 on second down, Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
They just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read a receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Here's Williams to return. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
58 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. again, it's Chubb. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. That sack, it goes to Boye Mafe.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. And Chubb will try the middle here. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good size run.
A really good run. But how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
York able to send this one through. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. He'll fire one downfield for Fant. 20! And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Noah Fant, 76 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Browns drive about to get started. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Returnable for Lockett. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The keeper just carried the ball. He's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 and 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Smart enough to avoid the taunting, but I guarantee quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their 38.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some room to roam now. And they will finally catch him, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. 54 yards on the ground.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal pushes him back big time. And now you figure the field goal team coming on 4th. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Watson. Flushed out right.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
York able to send this one through,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this 4th quarter. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for the Browns TD.
York now for the extra point.
And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but The self-inflicted wounds. They've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Again, it's Walker. And he's got some space here. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. 135 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year.
And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. That guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua. And they're going to get it. They bring it down a sack back at the 16-yard line. Brings up 3rd down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Seahawks have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. 2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Oh, I think the Seahawks got it. They did. It's Seattle football. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Okay.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
And Walker once more.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. That poor defensive line, they've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Here's Tua.
He's going to let this go for the end zone.
And oh no, it's incomplete. It's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down. Here we go, set. Stop, 17. Strike, check, strike. They'll run for it. It's Walker. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. The Browns drive about to get started. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's...
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Browns add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that cuts this lead down to 13. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. From the end zone, here comes Williams. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it is strictly for pride.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 118 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.